And a lot of people right now, so I talked to some homies about this. People reach out, they say, yo, I want to make moves. Delta's a hot one, right? And we're going to talk about them, their bailout package that was just signed. That's the CARES Act, the $2.1 trillion stimulus that we'll talk about. People are like, they're really excited to buy individual stocks right now, like, oil companies maybe, because oil's at an all-time low right now, which, as we've talked about before, it's not just because of the lower demand. It's also because OPEC and OPEC Plus, this is the body of countries, that Organization for Petroleum Exporting Countries, which the U.S. is not part of. It's a price fixing thing. So all these countries that, Saudi Arabia is a big member. There's some African countries, there's some other Middle East countries. They price fix. So what they do is they reduce supply so that the price of oil goes up. That's another reason that there's also basically an oil war, and Saudi Arabia is going to war with Russia over oil prices, and they're really trying to squeeze them right now. So people are trying to baby buy oil companies right now. Fukin Delta is a hot one. People are making moves. So here's all I'm going to say with individual stocks. And this is what I personally do. I don't invest more than a few percent of your net worth in individual stocks. And the reason for this is because over time, you're not going to beat a simple index fund. And when I say over time, I mean on the order of a couple decades, right? Even the best investors in the world can't beat the index, let alone your ass on Robinhood trading from your couch or trading on the Fukin subway. Okay, so you're not going to Fukin beat the market. But it doesn't mean you won't make some good moves in a short period of time. Now, anyone can do that. But when you're really trying to build wealth, you're trying to do long-term gains. Your time horizon is a lot of people Fukin 30 years, 40 years. So you don't care about long-term gains. So a lot of people, I think what they don't realize is that Fukin, when you buy a stock, it's two things you got to do. Number one, you got to Fukin buy it. So anyone can, buy low, right? Buy low. Sure, that's good. The other thing you got to do is you got to know when to sell it. So what you've done when you've purchased a stock is you've signed up for a contract with yourself to worry about that stock for the rest of your life until you sell it. Now, if it's a small amount, you don't need to worry about it, right? It's like, that's why I recommend you don't want to lose sleep over this shit. You don't want to lose sleep and be thinking about always looking at the market, because then what the fuck is the point? That's just costing you energy. It's costing you time. It's not worth it. So when you buy a stock, you also got to know when to sell it. Now, you always got to think about that. So, but if you don't own that much of it, if you don't really care, if you're just kind of doing it for fun, which I go for it, have some fun. I'm not saying you can never buy individual stocks. I do it too, but I don't do it anymore that is going to make me worried about what the price of that thing is. And also I also recommend don't buy a stock if you're just going to look to flip it in a year. Warren Buffett says this. He only buys things that he plans basically holding for life, right? He only looks into buy companies, not for a quick flip, but he buys shares because he wants to own that share for a long period of time. And if you have that attitude towards it, you're going to buy it and you're not going to check it every day. I've been there. I've been checking. I've been in that situation. It's not fun. It's not worth it. Go do other things with your Fukin time. That's my hot take there. I'm not even going to recommend individual stocks. See what your uncle says.